In the second year of King Darius of Persia, the prophet Haggai received a message from the Lord. It was a time when the Jewish people had returned from Babylon to Jerusalem, but the city and the temple lay in ruins, neglected. Despite a decree from the king allowing them to rebuild, the people had been distracted by their personal affairs, leaving God's house unfinished. Haggai was chosen as God's messenger to address this pressing matter. The Lord spoke through Haggai to Zerubbabel, the governor of Judah, and Joshua, the high priest, urging them to prioritize the reconstruction of the temple. Haggai's message was clear. Is it time for you yourselves to dwell in your paneled houses, while this house lies in ruins? The people were consumed with their own comfort. They planted much but harvested little. They drank but were not filled. They clothed themselves but were not warm. And they earned wages only to put them into a bag with holes. God revealed through Haggai that these conditions were a direct consequence of their neglect of his house. The message stirred Zerubbabel, Joshua, and the remnant of the people to action. With God's encouragement and Haggai's leadership, they began to work on the house of the Lord, realizing their priorities needed reordering. The prophet assured them that God was with them, marking a significant transformation within the community. Haggai brought another message, this time for encouragement. He reminded the people of how splendid the former temple was, yet assured them that the glory of the new temple would surpass the previous one. In this place, I will give peace, declared the Lord. This prophecy was not just about physical beauty, but about divine presence and blessing. However, the people faced challenges during the restoration. They questioned whether their work would lead to holiness, seeking clarity through Haggai, who conveyed God's response, that purity doesn't come from objects or rituals, but from an obedient heart. Amidst these teachings and the hard labor of rebuilding, Haggai continued to guide the people. Their faithfulness was rewarded as blessings began to flow, rain fell, crops flourished, and the community's well-being improved. Each step forward was a testament to God's favor now that his house was being honored. The final message Haggai delivered was one of promise to Zerubbabel, declaring him as God's chosen signet ring, a symbol of authority and leadership. This was not only a personal assurance, but also underscored the reestablishment of the Davidic line from which blessings and divine purposes would further unfold. The story of Haggai is one of renewal and prioritization, where a community learns to align itself with divine will, showing true obedience not just in words but in action. It is a narrative of how desolation turns to prosperity when the people engage with God's vision for their lives, understanding that his house and his presence among them are the true sources of peace and abundance.